Karou plays football for Winston Churchill High School. He just returned from a college recruiting trip.
I went to Penn State University. It was real fun. They have a real nice game day atmosphere, and they look like a real tight-knit group.
He says part of what helped him to get the chance to check out one of the most storied of all college football programs is that where it really counts for an athlete, he keeps his eye on the ball. He's dedicated. He's prepared.
It helps a lot. I mean, you can tell there are a lot of other schools in the county that I'm not going to name, but because they don't train as hard, or you don't have many people going there for the off season, you can tell because they have injuries during the season, or they can't. You can notice when you're playing against somebody, they're not as strong or maybe not as fast as you are. So the offseason definitely makes a difference.
One of the first things that strikes you about this 6'4", 295-pound schoolboy football star who plays on both sides of the ball is that he exhibits an almost ambassadorial-like quality in the way that he treats others. You might say that he learned it at home.
My mom was an ambassador, as you know, from Angola, and I was born in Sweden, and we moved over here when I was 6 years old, and my mom became the ambassador to the United States of Angola.
Being raised by an African mother who is the Angolan ambassador to the U.S. meant that her son, Karou, was taught at an early age to mind his P's and Q's.
It's different. There's certain things that you can't do, pretty much just to protect your mom's image. It's pretty good because you grow up with a certain different code of ethics and respect and things of that sort. Being raised up brought up by an African family, it's completely different values. It's a different level of respect, I would have to say. Not saying that American children are really disrespectful, but we're just brought up a different way. What your parents say goes. No rebuttal at all.
Like many children born or raised almost anywhere in the world other than America, his first sport wasn't American football.
In soccer, I played goalie.
In fact, it wasn't until high school that he actually picked up football.
When I started playing football in 9th grade, I can openly admit that I was not good. I was pretty terrible. As you can, if you go back and watch tape, you can see I didn't even start my freshman year. They had no choice but to start me in my sophomore year because I was the biggest one on the team. And I held my own, just hard work. Being in the off season, you can't take the off season off and use that as a drive, pretty much just to get better, and use your team as a catalyst, I guess. Get better for your team and for a certain goal. You can't get better without a goal. Speaking
of goals, he's set his sights pretty high.
My dream is to become the first Angolan player in the NFL.
According to his coach, this student athlete of Angolan descent has the right tools to just maybe make a run at the NFL.
Karou is more than just, talk. He's more than just a rah-rah guy. He puts in the work behind the scenes. To know that, he's a very intelligent young man certainly helps in his development. He's always been well-mannered, very respectful, especially of the coaches and the other players of the team, on the team. So, it's really refreshing as a coach to have someone like Karou who doesn't need a whole lot of direction. You don't have to worry much about the discipline aspect. Basically, you just tell him what to do, and he goes and does it. And whenever he needs some advice, or he needs to be coached, he has a great attitude when it comes to that.
And whereas for many kids of all ages, peer pressure is a big deal, for Karou, a product of strict African parenting, no is a complete sentence.
They would ask why I wouldn't rebuttal against my parents, and I would just say this is not the way I was brought up.